Magic Valley's home for country, Cat Country 106, Scotty and Gina in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, normally we don't cut off a song like that, but we've got somebody very, very special on the phone with us, and we've been kind of giddy over this one.
Yeah, you know, we've done lots of interviews, you and I
have.
And this one I'm really super excited about. Good morning, Mike Rowe. How are you?
Wait a minute. You cut off a song?
We cut off a song for you.
Yeah, you're that important.
Get out of town. What song was it?
Miranda Lambert and Mama's Broken Heart.
Holy cow. I'm going to have to send Miranda an apology letter now. I can't believe I cut her off in the middle of her beautiful alto. Oh, well.
Well, she does have we can replay it. We'll make it up to her. How's that?
You know what? Replay it and dedicate it from me.
Okay.
And who knows? Maybe I'll hear from Miranda's people. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. So, you know, you're here and we've got you on the air to talk about a wonderful program and that you've started. It's called Return the Favor. And, of course, you know, this is kind of a long ways down the road in your broadcasting career. So the question that we have is, how did you get from doing the graveyard shift at QVC to doing dirty jobs and then, of course, the returning the favor here?
You know, because we all know that doing a night show at QVC is kind of like, you know, the dirty job of broadcasting.
You know what? It's so funny. I mean, that was a long time ago, 1989, and I talk a lot about it these days because looking back, I realized that for as horrible as it was and for as strange as it was the place where I learned every single thing that I needed to know about whatever it is I do. You know, live television, 3 hours at a time, talking about items I'd never seen before to a narcoleptic crowd of, you know, exhausted people. I mean, it was a great way to get started. And it really allowed me to work on hundreds of different freelance gigs for about 15 years. But my career, for what it's worth, really started with dirty jobs. And when that happened, I stopped thinking about myself as a host and just said, look, if I can get a show on the air that pays an honest tribute to real people and doesn't get in its own way, you know, and is basically honest and authentic and fun, then I think that would be good. So that's what Dirty Jobs was, and to be honest, Returning the Favor is not much different. It's not nearly as dirty. It's just that rather than look for dirty jobbers, I'm now looking for bloody do-gooders.
Right. Well, anybody that can talk about a pencil for 8 minutes is okay to me, you know?
That was my audition. You're right. 1989, the guy rolled a pencil across the table and said, pick it up, start talking. Don't stop till I tell you to stop. And if you can make it for 8 minutes and make it interesting, you're hired. And that my whole career came down to a crazy pencil. True story.
Awesome. Well, so the show Returning the Favor, if you'd kind of set that up for us and give us the premise of the show.
Yeah. You know, I like feel-good shows as much as the next guy, but I don't like the way they feel manipulative on the network. That's just me. Right. I just always felt like, you know, if you could, what would it look like to show the viewer the making of a feel-good show?
Yeah.
That was the question. And Facebook was interested in answering it. So they sent me out into the world with a great production company called Hudson Media and said, look, find people who are slightly better than you and I doing something that the country should know about. In other words, this isn't really a show. This is an antidote to the crap that's in your news feed that makes you feel lousy. This is 20 minutes of, hey, you've got a neighbor, whether you knew it or not, who's doing something awesome. So we show up, we find that person, and we surprise them with a reward or a gift or something that allows them to do more of what they're already doing. The first season has been viewed 200,000 times.
Wow.
Sorry. No, I'm wrong. Forgive me, Gina. 200 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. Look, I mean, that's like 200,000 were great numbers in TV days. This is 200 million views, and we started season 2 last night in Twin Falls, and it's absolutely off the charts.
Okay, so speaking of our neighbors, you highlighted a business or a charity that we have actually helped promote in the past, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And so when we caught that episode, we were so honored. And so part of what we want to know is, how do you choose? We know that you get a ton of submissions on your Facebook page because that's how you find all of these little do-gooders. Why Sleep in Heavenly Peace? I mean, we're honored that you chose Twin Falls, by the way, because we never get any recognition down here.
Well, look, that's part of it, too. You know, we go to big cities, but more often than not, I look for towns that, don't dominate the map. I look for people who typically aren't looking for attention, but have been doing whatever it is they're doing for a while. And most of the ideas, to answer your question, come directly to my Facebook page from people like you who know of people like Luke Mickelson and Sleep in Heavenly Peace who are doing something. And essentially, this is a bunch of people tapping a bunch of other people on the shoulder and saying, hey, there's something going on in Twin Falls that ought to be going on in every city. And, of course, you start to peel back the layers, and you see what's happening. These bloody do-gooders are making bunk beds on their own dime and hand-delivering them to kids who are currently sleeping on the floor. And they are absolutely transforming individual lives and families, and they have chapters now set up all over the country. And I think the thing is going to blow up into be a very, very big deal. But we take a very small look. We spend a couple of days in one area, get a sense of who the people are, and then surprise them.
Wow, it was amazing. I watched the episode this morning as I was kind of prepping everything for work today, and wow, it's just a very good, very well put together. And like you said, it gives you kind of the inside making of look in, and I was able to really relate, and I felt like I was part of the process. And I think you've done really well in trying to include your audience, and it was a production kind of difference than I'm used to, and I really credit you for that. That was awesome. So,
well, look, I mean, I can't tell you how much that means, especially from somebody in the industry, because it's a tough sell. You know, production companies and networks and hosts, you know, they're all kind of trained to do the same basic thing the same basic way. Mm-hmm. But if I learned anything from Dirty Jobs, honestly, it was that it's better to be authentic than right, and it's better to be honest than slick. And the country, I think, is just ready to see somebody make an honest effort to do a decent thing. So my pitch to Facebook and everybody involved was, look, don't worry about making a beautiful show. Just keep the cameras rolling and show people what it looks like to try and shine a light on other deserving individuals. And that's, in a nutshell, that's what it is. And
I think,
God help us, it's working.
I think me, for myself, and I know others are just tired of all this fake, pre-processed, overproduced kind of stuff, and they just want reality. And I think that's really what you captured and brought that. So as moving,
well, let me tell you something. Look what you just did. You literally, how many stations interrupt a song to put a guy on the air to talk about a show? I mean, I've done maybe 10,000 interviews like this in my life, and no one's ever done that. But, you know, with respect to Miranda, you know, and your viewers, they obviously know that Scotty and Gina care about the viewers, you care about the music, but you're not afraid, you know, to break an egg, interrupt a song, zig instead of zag. Yeah. That makes things feel real. So good on you for doing that.
Well, thank you. Polished is one thing that we are not, that's for sure.
If you've ever listened to us on a continual basis, you know that for a fact.
So moving forward in the future, where do you see things going with Return the Favor?
We're on that part of the map, like the old maps toward the edges where it said, "Here be dragons." I don't know. This is uncharted space in television and social media and production. No one's really been here before. I mean, Facebook is talking to us right now about the future, and everybody's very bullish and everybody's very optimistic. But I guess the short, honest answer is, as long as I have a platform that's behind this idea, I'll do it as long as I can, because, you know, I said it at the beginning, and I'll say it now, that it's not a show. This is an antidote for your news feed, which has been, I mean, how many people have unfriended you, or how many people have you unfriended, or how much, you know, how much strom and drang and fear and loathing and divisiveness is in your news feed? I mean, it would depress a hyena. I'm doing this because I honestly believe the country feels bad. And I think the country feels bad because for the last few years, they've been forced to look at bad crap.
Yeah.
This is not bad crap. I dare you to watch
good crap.
15 minutes of this show and not feel better about your day, your life, and the species.
hands down, I'll agree with you. And Gina and I are behind you 110%. And anything we can do for you, we're there for you, man.
Absolutely.
Nice of you to say. The only thing I would ask is that throw a little love out to Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Yes.
They are a remarkable organization. You should be proud to have them in your town. And if your listeners aren't sure what we're talking about, just Google Returning the Favor, click on the most recent episode, and I swear, if you don't laugh and cry at the same time, you're dead inside.
Yeah, speaking of social media, that is actually posted up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, they won't have to go far. They can just go to our page. And so, man, just thank you so much for, not only taking the time out to chat with Gina and I, but for, being a little bit of a pioneer and trying to bring a little good and bring people together here in our country. I can't tell you enough how much that's really, really needed right now.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to hear. Look, I've got a little tiny slice of cyberspace. You've got a little tiny space of the bandwidth. You can play the music you want. I can say the stuff I want, and hopefully people will dig it. But I'm with you. Let's not blow the chance to do something decent if we have it.
Amen. Anytime you need anything, Gina and I are at your disposal.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Oh, hey, we'll have the donuts.
Thank you so much, and you have yourself a great day, and good luck with what you have going on with Returning the Favor. I know we're going to be pushing that and helping out Sleep and Heavenly Peace so much, and so thank you, and
thanks, guys.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
Now let's get back to Miranda.
Okay.
Miranda Lambert, she's coming up next. Thanks, Mike Rowe.
Thanks, Mike.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.